And we are working some overtime here with Seth Greenberg on this Friday before championship weekend and Final Four weekend in college basketball. Seth, let me ask you this. Of the two games, Gonzaga, South Carolina, North Carolina, Oregon, if you had to choose between the two games, one of those games to watch, what would it be for you?
I would probably choose South Carolina Gonzaga because of the journey. So Frank Martin, I knew him when he was an assistant coach at Miami High. I knew him, watched him coach his JV teams.
Wow.
I've watched him, basically he's the same person he always was. But I've watched him grow as a coach. I love the way he connects with his players. It doesn't enable his players. And then Mark Few. If you don't like Mark Few, it's your problem. Mark Few is as good a person. And if you think about when he went to Gonzaga and where Gonzaga was when he was the graduate assistant, winning, I think, 4 games, to where they are now, and 21 consecutive years, if I'm not mistaken, in the NCAA tournament, the manner in which he conducts his program, how he carries himself. We hear the Butler way, there's a Gonzaga way as well. And, I just, Mark is such a good person. He's great for our profession, and it proves you can do it the right way with good people and be a good guy and get to the Final Four.
Seth, give me some more thoughts on this Gonzaga team because they've been so close, and here they are in the Final Four. If they lose to any other team other than North Carolina, will the haters of Gonzaga return?
Oh, I don't know. I don't even paying attention. The haters don't know what they don't know. To me, you measure a team by how consistent they are, and you can't find a more consistent team than Gonzaga. How they play, how they compete, their culture. People that hate on whether it's Mark Few, John Calipari, Sean Miller, Bill Self. That's just that they're just showing their ignorance. You're talking about some of the best coaches in our game today, future Hall of Famers, and anyone who would even speak like that just shows their ignorance. And I don't have any time for those. And you could say people in the media, and that just shows an example of a lot of people, quote unquote, insiders and gurus. They don't know what they don't know. It's embarrassing when they talk like that.
Yep.
Seth, we'll have 2 winners coming out of the Saturday Final Four and then the Monday championship game. So we'll have Saturday to sit and talk about what happened on Saturday and preview the championship game on Monday night. So Sunday morning when we wake up, we're talking about what from Saturday?
I think on Sunday morning, everyone's going to talk about Sindarius Thornwell and how tough and physical he is, and how that South Carolina was enabled to force Gonzaga probably to play more zone than they want, because I really believe Gonzaga is going to play 60% zone. All the time that Thornwell's at the 3, I think they're going to play zone. And that Frank Martin is more than just a good story. I think Frank Martin potentially has carved a legacy out that's impressive in 5 short years.
Seth, how about a prediction? Who's winning on Saturday in the Final Four? Who will play for the championship on Monday night?
My gut feeling, and I can change this by game day tomorrow, but my gut feeling is South Carolina, North Carolina. I think Barry will play. I think that North Carolina will be patient, play ahead of the defense in transition. Then I think that they'll turn around and attack that zone, get paint touches, get to the offensive glass, maybe get Bell in foul trouble, and I think it'll be South Carolina, North Carolina, which will be incredible.
Seth, I've been referring to South Carolina as the Cinderella team just because they hadn't been here and they won their first NCAA tournament game for the first time in 44 years, and here they are now, a couple of wins away from a championship. If South Carolina were to pull this thing off, get to Monday night and win, where would you rank it? Would this be considered the greatest upset in the history of the Final Four of the championship game in college basketball?
It would be hard to find a greater upset. I mean, that's for sure. I mean, if you think about what their journey, they started the season off playing at a very high level, but then Sindarius Thornwell got suspended, and they lost a little bit of their rhythm, their toughness, their focus. But when you lose 6 of your last 9, and then you win a national championship, that's about as good a story as it gets. But I'm not sure they're good enough to take North Carolina out of what they want to do. I think the depth of North Carolina's front court, if that does happen, if Berry's healthy, their ability to drive that defense once they move it, the ability, the depth of that front court, I think might just be too much.
Seth, a couple of more questions for me, and we'll let you go. Thanks for the overtime. When you watch all the games and all the players this weekend, which player